Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the weekly GraphQL community meeting. We've got just a couple updates here since last week. So we have one issue in progress that's currently being worked on, and that has to do with us kind of cleaning up how we do what fields we make available for filtration and sorting and things like that. We weren't really 100% careful the first time around when we did this, but effectively, we've got Sergey here who contributed a fix to some of those things, and we're currently kind of trying to finish up that pull request. The other update that we wanted to mention here is that on our board, we created an additional column here. We kind of reorganized how these are structured. So the new way how we want to do this is the new issues that come in kind of week in and week out, the fresh ones really are going to be put in the new column here. So it's easier for us to kind of isolate those and talk about them if they need to be discussed. And then once we kind of conclude that yes, it's a good issue to have in our backlog, then it would effectively be here in this column that's called for grooming. And once we feel like it's sufficiently discussed and the approach is more or less solid, then we're going to move those issues in this column. It's called ready to start. And this is the same column that's always been here. These are issues that we feel are, again, good enough to be picked up. But as always, if there's any questions, we can communicate through here on GitHub or on our Slack channel or by any means that is convenient to our community members. So with that, today we wanted to go over some of these new issues that have come in throughout the week. And they've come in from kind of different sources here, but we wanted to quickly mention them and move them into their for grooming column, or even ready to start if they're more or less straightforward. So we will start with, let's see, I guess let's go in order here. Issue number 85 here. This is just a report of a query that doesn't work. This has to do with a functionality that was added just a week or two ago, I think, by one of the community contributions actually. But in effect, what happens here is you're querying our category query. So you're requesting some data that is about a category object. And then once you drill down to this kind of folded in products list, then you can't query on this configurable product condition. So something there is just a little bit off, and just seems like a small bug that needs to be corrected. So we have labeled it as a bug here. It seems from a cursory investigation that it's a small size. We consider it a good first issue. And again, it has to do with kind of providing additional coverage to our GraphQL API here. With that, I will probably put it ready to start, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go in order. Again, this is issue 86. This has to do with filtering product by ID. This one we actually have a discussion going on, so I don't know if we have a label. It's in discussion or something like that, but effectively we just need to figure out what the use case is here, if any, because from our perspective, GraphQL is a storefront API, and from storefront perspective, the ID is not used as a storefront identifier. It's more of a backend identifier that's used in kind of admin operations. So we're trying to kind of figure out what exactly this is.
Yeah, we can probably assign it to for grooming column and just assign label and move to grooming.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So since it's in discussion, I guess grooming is a very similar label here, and it would be, I suppose, additional coverage. So I'll add these labels. If anyone has use cases that they want to contribute, or they want to validate this use case or tell us why this is important, feel free to let us know. And so I will put this in the grooming column. Okay, let's see. Next one is number 87 here. And the title here is Fetch Attribute Values and Labels for Custom Attribute Metadata. So we have kind of a couple different, there's a use case here for basically fetching additional attributes and label, or additional metadata for the attributes. So as you can see here, the ticket states it'd be really useful to be able to get all possible values and labels for the attributes of type select, like drop-down values like color, for example. And like the example here states, it would be really nice to, if you have a color attribute, it'd be really nice to get all the values here. And we had some discussions around what would be best in terms of technical approach, and probably do we want to get into it? I'd like to, I think, go over it a little bit.
Yeah, probably we can just take a look at structure. What can we see in response, and effectively we would see additional GraphQL interface, which will be used for all EAV attributes in GraphQL, and there could be implementations like of drop-down attribute, and drop-down attribute can have options, for example. So when request is performed, it will be done in form of fragments. Actually, we have somewhere here, I believe, example. Oh no, we don't have, but it will be just GraphQL fragments in request, and basically options should be represented as an array of items, and here is like suggested GraphQL type for those items, and options basically will have like code value and label. We need to add label here as well. And yeah, so that's it. So basically the structure is something that we suggest, and feel free to contribute to the discussion here.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Need to quit all my things that are making noise here. Okay. Great. So this one, yeah, we've got a label of medium value here, or medium effort rather, and I will move it into ready to start column. All right, next one actually came from our PWA team, and this is about kind of information returned about images here. So effectively, you request a small image, and it says it does not have enough information come back for a client-rendered Magento application to append the URI to an image tag. So you see the expected result is that small image and other image values like product in the product interface should return a URL that can be used as is to fetch the image. And currently it's populated with a value that cannot be used with obtaining other info about cache configuration. So this is, again, we've added some labels here to this issue. It's a bug. Should be a small effort to fix, decent, good first issue, and then has to do with additional coverage. These are labels we've used quite a bit, but hopefully the intent here is clear. So we shall take it, move it to the same ready to start column. That brings us up to 19 issues in the ready to start column. And then on to the next issue. Actually, this one is from last night, and I haven't even looked at it yet. So let's try to dissect this one. Products cannot be fetched in parent/anchor category. Performing a product search for a top-level anchor category with category ID search filter does not return any product when the products are assigned in the children categories of the top anchor categories. Okay, so if a product is only assigned to a subcategory, it says then searching on the top level / anchor category does not find that product that's assigned to a subcategory. And sounds like this one's been discussed.
Yeah, probably we can mark it as bug and I think medium size because it's not completely clear how to fix it. It requires some investigation.
Yeah, so I will mark it as
and coverage corner
for grooming. Yeah, okay.
I suppose we don't need to mark it for grooming because it's just implementation details, like how to fix it.
Technical approach.
It looks like requirements are pretty clear here.
Okay, so we'll make sure that they're in a good format here. We'll leave additional coverage, bug, medium sized, and then we'll try to expand to make it in a nice format. All right, okay, that sounds good. Actually, I'm going to put it into this column just for now because for us to write out the kind of get it in a good state of when we feel it's ready to be picked up by community. Okay, so I think that might be it for today. We've got, like I said, we've got quite a number of issues that are now accumulated in the ready to start column. There's always almost 20 issues here. We can expand a little bit to show more of what's here. So you can see it's a number of issues from bugs to stories that are in here. And then also most of them are marked with a size kind of estimate. So from small, you can see medium, you can see large items like starting to work on caching, which is obviously could be as complex as we make it. But for those who are looking to get started, this should be, should give you enough kind of context to see what you can pick up if interested, and run with it. Anything else I'm forgetting? Cool. So for next week, we'll try to triage kind of more issues that come in, if any, and then we'll work on any issues in this column. So we've got 53 issues that are marked as for grooming, and we can work on adding additional details or whatever is needed here to make them, ready to be picked up, and we'll transition them to ready to start for folks to start working on. Let me ask any questions that we have on the phone? None. Okay. All right. As always, we're going to be we're on the Slack channel. We're on Twitter. Find us, talk to us, and we would be very grateful to have some help with this track. So see you next week at the same time, same place. Thanks a lot. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.